Hi, it's Marieta. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I want to share with you how you can raise your vibration or frequency of yourself instantly. Coming up. Alright guys, so here we are in today's video. I'm talking about how you raise your vibration or frequency, whatever you want to call it, instantly. So these are going to be my tips that I'm actually also including in my book, Love is the Law, that you can check it out at loveisthelaw.com if you're going to dig deeper. And here are these tips to instantly raise your vibration. Now, before I share these tips, I want to give you a little bit of background, right? Because as you already know, everything is energy. Everything. You are energy, and the energy you emit is the way you talk to the field. In other words, to the universe, or the way you create your life is based on your energy, because whatever is within you is also outside of you, right? And that is the law of mirror in place. And so if you want to change your outside reality, you don't go outside and change people. You don't go outside and force the circumstances. Instead, you go within and you change yourself. You change your energy. And you probably already know this. If you want to create something, if you want to manifest something, it's so important that you actually have the right energy. The energy, in other words, the frequency that is matching the reality of your dreams. And that is actually what Einstein said. If you want to create the outcome, whatever it is, you have to actually match the frequency of that reality that you want to create, and that is how you manifest. And also Wayne Dyer said that you don't attract or manifest what you want, but who you are. And that being said, it's so important that your energy is actually correct energy, because if your energy or frequency you vibrate on is wrong, you're going to attract that kind of outcome, because that is going to be reflected in your outside reality. So now that you understand the background story or the background explanation, how can you raise your vibe, your frequency, right? Because you already know, like, what if you feel bad? What if you don't have a good day and you're trying to manifest and you are feeling like just off, right? Your energy is completely off. What do you do then? Are you gonna call your friend and are you gonna complain? Yeah, you can do that. You can certainly call your friend and you can complain, but that's not gonna change your energy. That is not gonna change your energy. And this is something we often do. We call our friends and we complain, but the problem with that is that we just are reaffirming the state we are in, right? And that can be challenging sometimes to just like go with the negativity. And that's why here are these tips how you can shift to go from the negative to positive frequency, because you only create the good stuff with a positive frequency. If you don't have the positive frequency, and when I say positive, it's usually when you feel good, right? What you create in that moment is the negative, because we always create. Doesn't matter what you do, you always create with your energy. And you know, sometimes you feel off around certain people, and it's not maybe because they say something negative, but it's because they vibrate a low energy, or they are maybe depressed or frustrated, and you can pick up the frequency right away and you know something is off, because it is, even though they're smiling, even though they say, oh, I'm good. So really, in order for you to create a life that you want, whatever it is, you have to change the frequency. So here is tip number one. Instant shift of frequency can be done through, this is probably something you already heard before, through gratitude journaling. If you feel off, if you feel frustrated, if you feel depressed, if you feel low vibe, instantly you can change your vibe by journaling. Because if you start journaling how grateful you are, you can just state 5 things you're grateful for. You don't even have to go crazy. You don't have to do 10, 15, 20. You can just state 5 things. You don't even have to write it. You can just think about it. You You can say it in front of the mirror, or not even in front of the mirror. Just acknowledge what you are grateful for. And there are so many things, people, you can be grateful for in your life. So just state 5, and when you do that, make sure to feel the feeling of being grateful. And usually it works instantly, because we forget what we have, and that's just the way we are, humans, right? So this is a great reminder for you in that instant moment to start being grateful, because you cannot do both. You cannot be ungrateful and depressed and feeling grateful at the same time. You either or, right? So you either feel great or you don't. So you shifting in that moment to this feeling of gratitude, and that feeling of gratitude is gonna immediately shift your energy, right? So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to really not judge yourself for feeling low or frustrated or depressed or whatever the low negative feeling you have at the moment. Don't judge yourself for feeling this way. And this is important, because the moment you start judging yourself, and again, this applies especially to people who are aware of law of attraction, they practice this law and other important laws. These people already know that if you want to manifest something, you have to feel good. But that doesn't mean you have to feel good all the time. You cannot feel good all the time. It's just the way it is. We are humans, we have up and downs, we have moments. And instead of feeling bad about yourself, be gentle and be loving and be okay with feeling this negative, whatever feeling you have at the moment. So don't beat yourself up, don't judge yourself for feeling negative. Instead, start this conversation with yourself. Yes, I know you feel bad, I know you feel negative, but I still love you. And can we shift to this positive? And of course you can. By acknowledging that you feel this way, you can immediately shift if you want to. And that goes to tip number 3, is to do something for other people. I used to do this actually a while back when I was building my other company, Immigration Biz. And this was at the very beginning of the company, when I was starting and I had no clients and I had no idea how to acquire clients, and I felt frustrated and upset. And what I did was I switched the energy by switching my focus from me to somebody else. So I would start shooting these videos, and I have over 500 videos now on that channel on YouTube, and I started to serve people. And the moment you serve somebody, and especially if you are a young entrepreneur, if you're just starting out and you don't have any clients, you don't have anybody to serve, you can still start serving people by making a video for people, being useful in a way, give for free, just give. Because that is when you shift your focus from you and feeling low into service. The moment you shift the focus from you to providing a service, helping another human, whatever that is, the moment you start feeling good. This is how we are wired. We are wired to help other people. And so if you feel some sort of negativity, I'm not saying you should shoot a video, but what I'm saying, you should do something for other people. Because when you do something for other people, small act of kindness, maybe you call your friend and you give advice, maybe you support somebody, whatever, act of kindness immediately will shift your level of energy. And that is like instant shift. Instantly you will shift. So the more you give, guess what? The more you're gonna receive. That's the law of circulation I talk about in my book, Love is the Law. All right, so these are the first 3 tips. Tip number 4 is to observe your feelings. And this takes some practice. It takes some time to observe, especially when you are going down. You start observing your feelings instead of running away from these feelings, right? Instead of running away, you start just observing. The more you practice this act of observation, the more you train yourself to stay neutral. And when you actually become observer and you stay neutral, guess what? These feelings will just pass by like clouds. They come and go, and they're not gonna impact you, because you as an observer will not identify with these negative feelings. And because of that, they will just come and go, come and go, come and go. And this is something I coach my clients, when you feel negative, do not beat yourself up for feeling this negativity, Because the moment you start doing it, the moment you become part of that emotion, the moment you become engaged with that emotion, you identify with that emotion, and that emotion is gonna change your frequency into the negative frequency. So instead of doing that, you stay neutral, you just observe. And this goes to tip number 5, because in your meditation practice, if you do meditate every single day, if you don't, I recommend you start, because meditation is perfect to train yourself to be able to become this observer. And if you know me, if you are watching my YouTube channel, I've done a couple of Vipassana retreats, and the whole point of Vipassana retreat is just to observe yourself. Observe the way you feel and don't judge. Don't judge your emotions, don't judge the way you feel in your body. You just observe the way it is. Everything is okay the way it is. And the more you train yourself to just observe, the more these feelings will just dissipate and they will just go away. Kind of like clouds passing by, no big deal. So instead of suppressing and beating yourself up, you're gonna love them. Because the act of observing is the act of paying attention, which is actually the act of love. So instead, you're gonna love them, and that's it. You're gonna love, and that's it. No big deal. And they will disappear. They will disappear, and you will be able to raise your frequency. Because here's the deal: if we want to manifest something, whatever that is, especially if it's very different from your current reality, the way you do the magic is really to step into this new reality of yourself, feeling this way, living as if. And I done video on this, how to live as if without feeling like a fraud, how to act as if without feeling like a fraud, where I do explain more how you can actually switch to this parallel reality, how you step into this new version of you that is going to help you without feeling like a fraud, because that is the entire process of manifesting. We manifest when we learn how to actually navigate this energy. The more we learn and practice, we are becoming alchemists of energy, and that is when we create the magical life, right? Because we create from the quantum, we don't create from the 3D reality. So guys, I hope this is helpful. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below this video, and also check out the video I already mentioned, how to act as if without feeling like a fraud. And of course, check out my book if you want to learn more at loveisthelaw.com. And lastly, if you are new, please do subscribe and hit that bell notification button if you want to receive my weekly updates. And stay tuned for the next video, where I'm going to talk about how you overcome your self-doubt, your fears, and imposter syndrome. So that's going to be an interesting one coming up.